I've said it once, I'll say it again. Mistakes are insanely common in Apex and are a huge issue a lot of players struggle with when climbing into higher tiers. A lot of players don't know that they are making these mistakes though and need a little helping hand in order to see what's going wrong. So hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and today I'm going to be going over one mistake for every rank so that you can see where you're going wrong and exactly how to fix it. But before we hop into these, I just want you to know that a man from the future just came to me and said that all the people who don't like this video never rank up ever again, so don't take that chance, drop a thumbs up and let's talk mistakes. Starting off with bronze, and the mistake that people make here is just not playing the game. You lose nothing in bronze games, so when you enter, you're already going to be ranking up just by playing. It's simple as that. So make sure that you just play the games every now and then and you'll be on your way to silver in no time flat. Now for silver. Silver's mistakes are giving up too easily. When you get into silver, this is where players start to see an entry fee, so that means that there's something that you can lose. Here you can start to see players lose motivation because casual players don't have hours a day to grind ranked. They have school, jobs, families, the list goes on, and they only have a limited time to play. So when they hop in and see that they aren't gaining as many points or die off drop, that is very upsetting to them, and then a lot of people quit because of that. If you want to fix this mistake, just keep your head up and see the lost points as a learning tool instead of a setback. Take your small RP gains and chug along into gold. And speaking of gold, let's talk golden mistakes. Gold is a weird area for a lot of players. You have so many people all coming together in one rank that it's hard for some people to make it out of this elo. Some players are smurfs, frustrated in their own ranks, so they just hop into these games to blow off some steam. Some players are casual that just want to fight people of their skill level, so they don't care too much about what happens. And some people are like you who are just trying to rank up. And the biggest mistake holding people back in gold is they don't know how to gunfight. They get nervous, they don't know recoil patterns, they don't know what ranges each gun is effective with. It's a big issue that people need to learn how to solve, so let's break them down. And first is being nervous, and that's easier said than done. The best way for people to get over being nervous in fights is to get into them as often as possible. But hold your horses, I'm not saying run at everyone in ranked. Don't throw yourself at fights, that's just begging to stay hard stuck. What I mean is go into pubs for a bit, hot drop, put yourself in weird spots, because in pubs you have nothing to lose and will learn a lot easier. Putting yourself into uncomfortable situations in pub games, you'll be a lot more comfortable in ranked when it happens because you'll know how to get out of them. Next up is knowing recoils, and that's very simple. All it takes is you hopping into the firing range for a bit, seeing how the recoil pattern works on the guns, and then go from there. Take 10 minutes every day when you first get on. Go into the range and warm up by doing recoil control. That way in 7 days you spent 70 minutes learning recoil and you'll be a lot better off because of it. And what gun should you start off learning? Well, whatever gun you want. What gun do you find the most? What gun do you use the most? Learn those and then move on to less meta guns. But you do want to know every single gun in case you drop on it and have to use it in a fight. You want to be comfortable with every single one. And last is knowing what range a gun is effective with, and that's just something you'll learn over time. It's just knowing small things like the Prowler shreds up close, but it really falls off at range because of the bursts. The Devotion has massive recoil, so it's harder for people to spray at long ranges with. Knowing this kind of information, you can play around enemies shooting at you and start winning more fights because of that. Now we are getting into the juicy ranks, so let's talk about mistakes platinum players make. This is where a lot of players get hard stuck. Plat 4 actually has the most amount of players in it, so where are all these people going wrong? Well, most of them can't read a ring and tell where the game is going to end. This is actually a skill that we've covered on the channel before. In a video I go over all the different ways that you are able to read a zone and even throw in a quiz, so if you haven't yet, you should go check out that video. But why is this such an important skill? Well, plat players like to run around and fight. A lot of the lobby dies before ring 1 has even closed. If you're able to play a character like Caustic and trap up a building in final zone, your team can ride it out for easy placement, and then you just pick up your KP at the end of the game. And a lot of players say, "Oh, but 8 second, isn't this camping? I don't want to be a camper." And to this I respond, then ranked isn't for you. At some point you need to get over your ego and learn that ranked is about taking every skill in Apex and using them to win. You need to know how to read a zone, rotate safely so you don't get caught out in a bad spot, hold your spot at endgame, and then manipulate teams in smaller circles to do what you want in order to pull off the win. That is where plat players fail. They don't consider playing endgame a skill. They see it as camping and are in the wrong mindset of what skill really is. Next up is diamond though, and this is where the game really gets fun. And the mistake that Diamond players make is overcommitting to fights they don't need to. The biggest issue with Diamond right now is people think that they need to kill everyone in the game. If you aren't the one with all the kills, something's wrong. So they hear a fight, go to third party it, and as they do, they see that the teams aren't actually hard fighting, they are just poking. Instead of dropping it and leaving, they try to force something. They commit on a team for no reason at all and ape them to try to kill them. This is wrong on so many levels. When third partying, if the teams aren't already killing each other, you should just leave the fight alone. You're wasting time, and it's a safe bet that others are coming to 4th, 5th, 6th party it, so it's safer to just leave the fight and get KP some other time. This will allow you to live longer and gain more RP in the long run to help you make your way into Masters and Predator lobbies. And now that you're here in Masters, congrats, you're now playing against the best players in the game, and every little tiny mistake you make will be exploited and you'll seem like an absolute fool. Trust me, I know from experience. So what mistakes do players make here that are holding them back? Well, there isn't a big one that most players make here. Most of the mistakes are micro plays that just lead to the tiniest advantages that high tier players can use against you to kill your team. So the only way to fix this is to be fully aware of what you and your team is doing at all times, in order to minimize the mistakes happening and know when the other team has made one so that you can jump on them because of it. I wish I could go into more detail to tell people exactly what mistakes are being made where, but it's player specific in that certain game at that certain time. Something as small as peeking when you shouldn't, so I can't go into a lot of detail. You're just gonna have to watch your games back and see where you mess up personally in order to climb. Mistakes happen in Apex, and if you're a full squad, don't get mad at people who make them because we all mess up from time to time. It happens, it's part of the game. What separates a good player from a bad player is how they handle these mistakes. Good players talk things over, see where everyone went wrong and learn from it. Bad players pass blame, chalk it up to teammates, and never grow personally. So I hope you learned a few mistakes to fix yourself here, and if you did and want more awesome tips and tricks, don't forget to smash that sub button and ring the bell to be notified when we post. We do daily Apex videos, so you do not want to miss them. Thank you all for watching once again. I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.